Environmental Health Impact Assessment, MQB7034, Environmental Health. Part 6, Environmental Impact Assessment. Let us recap what has been studied. We have completed the definition, national policy on environment, environmental, social and governance, environmental health, environmental assessment, and now we will discuss on environmental impact assessment. Environmental impact assessment is a planning tool, and it is a requirement in Malaysia for any prescribed activity under the Environmental Quality Prescribed Activity Environmental Impact Assessment Order 2015. The activities specified in first schedule and second schedule are prescribed activities. The activities specified in first schedule do not require display or public comment unless otherwise instructed in writing by the Director General. The activities in second schedule require public display and public comment. Notwithstanding the subparagraph 1, the following activities are also prescribed activities. Any prescribed activities which has been divided into a size or quantum smaller than the size or quantum specified in first and second schedule, or any activity involving increase the size and quantum resulting from such activities to be categorized as prescribed activities. This part of the order of regulation actually was developed based on the method where developer divide the developing parcel into smaller parcel to circumvent the requirement for conducting an environmental impact assessment. In the new revised regulation, this part has been included to ensure that any activities that are involve specific area, the developer or the project cannot divide the area into smaller parcel and not subjected to EIA. Even if the developer divide into smaller parcel, at the end EIA is required for the whole parcel itself. So this is an important addition to the regulation that ensure that no developer circumvent the requirement of conducting an environmental impact assessment. One of the main differences between first and second schedule is a public display and public comment. Public display and public comment are part of the requirement for activities as listed in Schedule 2. Public display and public comment referred to in subparagraph 2 and 3 are display of a report at a place within the time determined by the Director General to obtain public comment in relationship to the report. If you have followed the development recently of the MRT3, there was a public display and public comment for the development line of the MRT3. The environmental impact assessment for Sabah and Sarawak is a little bit different and is governed, and the state govern it differently from what it is happening in the Semenanjung, Malaysia. The first schedule, these are the activities listed in the first schedule, includes agriculture, aerodrome, drainage and irrigation, fishery, forestry, industry, land reclamation, mining, petroleum, development of ports, power generation and transmission, development in coastal and hill areas, development in slope areas, waste treatment and disposal, dredging, housing, industrial estate development, new township, quarry, road development and water supply. Schedule 2 contains similar activities. However, it has different criteria, which will going to be discussed later. In Schedule 2, it includes agriculture, aerodrome, drainage and irrigation, fishery, forestry, industry, land reclamation, mining, petroleum, ports, power generation and transmission, development in coastal and hill areas, development in slope areas, waste treatment and disposal, construction of dam, transportation and radioactive materials and radioactive waste. Let us compare between the first and second schedule. Let us focus on agriculture. In agriculture, for the first schedule, land development scheme covering an area of 20 hectares or more or less than 500 hectares to bring forests into agricultural production are required to conduct EIA, but without the necessary for public display or public comment. And in Schedule 2, second schedule, the agriculture land development covering an area of 500 hectares to bring forests into agricultural production required public display and public comment. So that's the difference between first schedule and second schedule, is in the quantum or the size of the development.